inexperienced, inexposed interpretation of the scriptures of those you listen to. Why will you go to your pastor for financial advice when your pastor is not a financial coach? If you need spiritual counseling, you go to a spiritual person like a pastor. Most pastors are spiritually sound, but they are financially deficient. They don't have financial literacy. So they can't help you. They can't give you what they don't have. The same way you cannot go to your pastor for medical advice because he's not a medical doctor. So if your pastor is a pastor that has financial intelligence and can help you financially, then you are blessed. But if he cannot, you go to a financial coach or you go to a financial counselor to help you.
That's right. Yeah, and that leads us to another question here. Right now in the Western world, marriages are breaking apart due to increased loans, credit cards, they have to pay mortgage, they really have bills to pay, and they have like 2 or 3 jobs, and whereby like the husband is coming in, the wife is going out, they just cross each other to make sure everyone has to work and they have to, make ends meet. What advice can you give them?
Well, that's the reality of a lot of people in the rat race. And it's quite unfortunate because if you know better, you do better. But many people have started the journey on the path to error and financial lack and hardship before they begin to get to know about financial intelligence. Because they have already started on the wrong path, it takes a while to be able to make the necessary adjustments because the bills will not wait for you. So what I will advise people is if you have found yourself locked in the rat race and you want to experience a change in your life, the first thing to do is to acknowledge that you are on the wrong track. The second thing that needs to be done is to seek a mentor to be able to guide you and help you navigate your way out of the rough into the right path that will help you to gain financial freedom. Number 3 will be to begin to increase your level of financial intelligence, because what you know determines how far you go. So as you grow your financial intelligence, you are then able to develop a financial plan and stick to the plan. You are my mentee. You've registered to be a part of the Billionaires Conclave. And in the last few months that we've worked together, we've been able to see a lot of progress. You've been able to do now. What you are doing right now is part of the result of the fact that you have submitted yourself to mentorship. And that's what they also need to do, so that somebody can hold them by and guide them through the journey of recovery. Because once you are locked up in the rat race of salaries and bills, 2, 3, 4 jobs, we are going to continue in that route for decades. Because you see, the economic environment within which you operate is a capitalist environment. Capitalism is not built for salary earners. Capitalism is built to favor entrepreneurs and to favor investors. Everyone that is a salary earner doing 2, 3, 4 jobs, you are part of the tool for creating wealth for the rich in the capitalist environment. So I will advise people like that to really get the School of Money book, get my book, How to Create Wealth as a Career Person, to help them know what to do and begin the journey to the wealthy place.
Well said. Talk about the financial knowledge and wisdom. When I read most of your books, I had to learn, relearn, edit, delete some of the information and knowledge I've known around finances, but thank God I was able to acknowledge that. So around that area, at what point of time in your life where you were like, I think there is something wrong, a doctrine or something, and you realize that you are trapped somewhere and you needed to really do something about your finances?
Well, that for me was 1997. In 1997, I came to realize that where I was far below where I was hoping to be. I got married in 1997, and few got married in July, and by October of that year, I realized that something needs to change. I began to cry out to God, and we're expecting our first child. And that was another extra burden, being married, you're not able to take care of the family, then you're expecting a child. And I cried out to God and look, God, I'm tired, I need a change. And God said, if you want to be free, let me show you how. And that led me to 8 months of an encounter with God, 8 months of a transformation, learning and relearning and doing what you have done. And after 8 months, I was able to know exactly what needed to be done to come out of poverty. And I began the journey in 1998 because that 8 months took me from 1997 into 1998. And one of the things I did was God took me from Genesis to Revelation and started to teach me biblical economics from Genesis, and taught me and helped me to realize that religion had made us to interpret a lot of scriptures out of context. And it gave me the kingdom dimension of interpretation. The second thing that I did was that God told me to study the lives of rich and wealthy people, rich and wealthy families on earth, and find out what they did to become rich and how they were able to grow their wealth and how they were able to retain and transfer their wealth to the next generation. And when I did that, I realized that principles are universal. And anyone that can apply the principle will get the result. And I began, and 3 years later, my story